Hello, and welcome to my first devlog, where I will hopefully make a an FPS game similar to one that used to exist, but has now been drastically changed to the point where I don't really like it anymore. So I'm gonna try to recreate what I think was the prime of Black Hawk Rescue Mission 5, which is a game that I used to enjoy quite a lot. But then there was a whole game overhaul where the movement system's different. There's like no hit markers now. Like there's a bunch of change stuff. Um, but I used to enjoy the movement a lot because you used to be able to run up against a block and jump at the right time, and instead of sending you like over normally, it would just launch you, giving you some like cool cool abilities where you could get into cool spots that people wouldn't expect. And I wanted to try to make a game where that was a feature and not a bug. But I have not actually, excuse me, I have not actually created a full game before. I have attempted to make, a simple tycoon, and I didn't end up finishing that, but hopefully, since this is a project that I have some personal interest in, I will be able to stay motivated to create, and we'll see how that ends up. Okay, so I have just started watching a tutorial, and it appears that I need a pew pew model. I'm not sure if that's okay to say, so I'm just gonna not like to do anything too special, just do a mock-up to see if I have what it takes. So let's we'll well, yeah, looks that's all right. Yeah, we'll think about it. This. There we go. Okay, so here's my simple little model. Let me actually add these parts to it. Simple view. I think that looks good. Time to head back into the tutorial I was watching to get started using this thing as what it is. Alright, so we ended up needing a rig builder. I guess I'll go with this one. Don't know too much about any of this, but right, R6 builder. There we go. Yeah, looks like a normal R6 model to me. So this is what we'll be using. Alright, so in the tutorial, I'm watching Zera, I think that's how you say their name, Xera, their tutorial on FPS shooter games, just to get a little framework to work off of. So in their um, tutorial, they deleted everything but the arms and the root part. I think that's so we can use these to animate. So do these have a decal on them? What are these? Whatever. We'll figure this out as we go. All right. So in the tutorial, they wanted their little arms to be more rounded, and I do agree with that. So we're going to find export selection, and I don't have my files showing, but I'm gonna export this to my desktop as arms as an OBJ model. If anyone's following along here, we're gonna switch over to Blender. Blender. I just had a little thing opened up here. What do I even? I've got this thing right now. Whatever. We're gonna delete all that stuff so we don't need it. We're going to import OBJ. Once again, my files aren't gonna show up for you, but I'm just going to hopefully import the arms. Huh. Okay, I eventually figured out how to get the arms in here. So I'm just gonna set the geometry to the origin. Go in here. Just select all these edges. Can I do like control something? Nah. I think I probably can, but not very smart. Now do I want to bevel? It's not working. I don't know what all this is, but try to bevel it doesn't work. Let's see if I'm like clicking wrong. If I click like convert to mesh, that fix it. No. Oh, that's kind of weird. Okay. So I might need to I'll select all of it. Oh wait, I can just go to wireframe, right? Yeah, and then we can dissolve. I still can't bevel, and I think it's because these two edges aren't actually one thing. I'll go back into wireframe, dissolve edges. No. So I might need to do some manual fixing here. How to do that? Do like that. There we go. Bevel that now. Just gotta do the same over here. Just connecting these faces and then connecting the edges. There we go. Okay. I can just bevel that a little bit. Get a little roundness to the arms, maybe. Maybe a little more. Like shade smooth. I guess that's rounded enough, right? I'm checking what the tutorial turns out. I want to bevel all of these edges. Actually, I can choose these easier. Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting some more rounded shapes. Okay, we can now export these as objects. I'm gonna name them like, rounded arms.obj. Go back into Roblox with a very slightly different set of controls, which is a little confusing. That's okay. Now I gotta remember how to import objects, or if I can just drag them in. I cannot. Okay. View home. I think it'd be in home. Maybe file. Or if I like. Oh, I know what I have to do. I have to get a mesh part. Is that it? And change the mesh ID. And it contains location data. We're actually gonna. I think usually you don't want to accept that, but in this case we will. So here we go. Here's our little rounded arms, and we're gonna use the tutorial to tell me how to put these in here, I guess, or rename them to like arms, and put them in the model. Ooh. So I think there's a problem where the arm, both of these are like connected, so they're not two separate arms. So I might need to go into Blender and separate them by loose parts. But I think I can delete those just so I know where to put these. Actually, where did I put the arms? Why'd they go up there? Fix this real quick. Where's the body? Is that right? Yeah, that looks right. Okay. I'm going to export these arms as separate pieces, and I will be right back. Okay, so I ended up just exporting, I believe, the right arm. And then I can go in here and open just the one arm. And then replace, yes. Now I can replace these arms. Oops. Ooh, that's not quite the right spot. So we're actually just gonna take the position. I think the origin position is what I want, right? Here, and then change this. I mean, that works. And grab this one. Boom. Okay. So this is our left arm. Just put that in there. And this will be our right arm. And then I don't know if I'm actually going to need these, so I'm just going to set their transparency to 1. Hopefully that doesn't cause issues, but if it does, I will fix that. If I try to scale this down, okay, good. I'm just going to scale this down a little bit, so it'll look a little better in the hands of our character there. And now time to continue the tutorial and figure out how to animate these, I guess. Alright, I'm going to grab this camera lock plugin. How do I... It appears I don't know how to use this. I'm gonna, I think, insert a part. Okay. that locks the camera to the part. And then we're going to move this to where the head should be. I think like that. If I do this, oh, yeah, that would make sense. All right, time to continue the tutorial instead of trying to just, brute force my way through this. So I will once again be back. All right, so I've got a little thing here. Not sure how much I like it. The tutorial I'm following, they got a model with some longer arms, and I think that's to help with the modeling and posing. And I also want to make more than just a simple, like, secondary, almost. So I might model a bigger version and some longer arms, and then cut right back. Here are my longer arms. I lowered the bevel amount. I don't think the arms needed to be triple beveled, and I definitely made them taller. So, and I left this out last time, but I'm just gonna show how I got just the one arm. So I'm just separating by loose parts. Now I have the two separate models, and I'm gonna delete one, and then export just this one. Boom. And now I'm gonna pop over to Studio, wherever that might be, and I think I can just go in here and change the model like this. Yes, there we go. I can do that for the other arm as well. Oop, whoops. I accidentally told it to save the location of the original model, which we don't want. Now I can just kind of move that into place and this into place. And the way I found where I wanted to put the arms is I went in here and I had the whole model selected so I could kind of see where the arrows were and move them from there, but couldn't do that this time for some reason. Now let's make a little more complex of a, not complex, a little bigger of a weapon. So we are handle, so we are body, body, body. So right here, like, there's it. Do this. Yeah, grab both these. No, not sure. What's this one doing? One at a time. Yeah, we got this whole long. So we hit beta 3 here. No. So 1, plus 2, and 4. What, 96? Well, that was plus 2. And get this weight. Let's get more precise in here. If you can. There we go. That's one thing. Yeah, okay. We got some learning. The heart. That's going to be these parts there. The upper stock and lower stock. Here's going to be our barrel. And we're going to transform. 2.6. And this one, 2.6. Yeah, that's not too bad. That sounds going to be our magazine. So let's get something flashy like. Yeah, that's good. This is upper magazine. Copy this here. I think we can scale that out a little bit. Oh, that's good. Grab this one and the lower magazine. Actually, copy this here. Move this. Make this like 0.2. Maybe 0.5. Yeah. And grab this one here. And we're going to look at this one here. 1, 2.085. No, that's useful. I think that'll work. And then grab another one of these. Maybe like 0.0. Let's do 0.1. I guess what this is. Maybe a little higher. But you gotta do that. Actually, I don't do that. So we have our instructions and stuff. So here. Right, so let's see how it goes on. Date and text. Yeah, that's correct. This piece is the back side. This piece is the front side. Is strung together or what? I don't know how this works. I'll be back on your house. Okay, so a very simple use case. I figured out by using Roblox tutorials. There's a lot of people that are talking about Roblox something, easily. There we go. So now I will site kind of stuff in here. Oh, I'm actually gonna make this piece a little thinner and like this. I'm gonna 0.8 to 0.8, so it looks looks a little more like a handle than just a block. Um, so now I can, oh, oops. I can grab all of this and move it into our view model, I guess. Can I really not turn this into a model? I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. Move all those out. Insert a model. Grab all of these. What's that? Oh. Just move that out the way. Grab that. And move these into the model, which I'll rename Big Pew Pew. This one, Small Pew Pew. So now we have two things. Got this one and this one. And I'm going to remove that one. Make another one of these. Put this into the view model. This might be a little big, but I can just scale it down. Is that even lined up? No. Yeah, it's just a little big. So we're gonna scale that down. Now it's kind of small, but maybe it's maybe it's meant to be a little small. Oops. Grab that. Maybe go a little bigger with it. And I'm actually going to turn this arm in a little bit and probably a little down. Like that. No, turn that inwards. And then grab the other arm. Now it's just a case of like getting this to look decent. If I go to my first person camera, how does this look? That doesn't look too bad. I think I could grab all of these and rotate them a little more like that. Oh, did I grab the wrong arm? Oh, I didn't grab the arm. There we go. See what that looks like. Yeah, that doesn't take up too much space. I'm gonna see if we can't. Yeah, and then maybe move it down a little more. Oh, I don't have the other arm selected. That would probably help. And maybe we bring this out more. I believe I can probably see all of it. So go here. I don't think so. But we're gonna try something like that. I think that doesn't look too bad. So I'm gonna continue the tutorial now. Alright, so I changed the model a little bit. And we are now going to look for something called Rig Edit Light. Just grab this. Close out of that. Probably something like this. I'm gonna watch the tutorial so I don't mess anything up. but I'm gonna save this first. And I will be right back once I learn how to rig. So I think I made a little mistake when changing the arms out. Um, but I don't think it sees it as like a joint anymore. So I'm gonna figure out how to do that. Edit. This arm has a joint, but it's in like the middle. And what do these do? Ah, okay. Brings it to like a different part. I'd also like this to connect to there if possible. Um, remove that humanoid root part. Reset joints. Got the root attachment. Can I create joints? I don't think that worked. Select parts and create joints. Right. Okay. So our left arm joint should be like down in here, right? Because that's like a shoulder. I think that'll work. And then we'll create a joint here. And try to put this in the shoulder here. Oh, it really doesn't want to be in the shoulder, like in the part there. Step, if I change that to like 0.5. Yeah, there we go. And that's more in the arm, I'd say. I think that's what I was supposed to do. I'm really not sure. But it is what we have for now. So if I like create a weld, I don't think I needed that. You know what? We're just gonna watch the tutorial and see how that goes. I will be back. All right, so in the tutorial, we created like this little box in here, which I'm gonna try to actually line up as accurately as possible with where our hand, like where our grip is. That seems, good enough to me. I go to rig edit, and I think we put this in here. So grab this, and then I think we just grab everything else. So oops, the stock, not the magazine, the grip, front sight, the body, and the barrel, the sights. I believe that's everything. That doesn't look like it connected, but I think we click create welds. And hopefully that worked. We'll see what to do next. Okay, now I think we connect this and the magazine pieces separately. Not sure what that does, but we'll see. Apparently that's it rigged. All right, so we need to go to replicated storage, make a folder called view models, and I think let's relaunch this. And then we duplicate this into here. Whoops, into here. And close that up. All right, so we're gonna get into a little coding here. I'm gonna close out of that. I believe we put it in starter player scripts, and we got a local script. I think you named it framework, or they, I'm not sure. We're gonna grab local. We're gonna make variables. Game dot players dot local player. Should grab like my character, my name, whatever. Make player dot character or player dot character added. And call on wait. Which should just wait until like I join. So it's always checking for new characters, I believe. User input service equals game colon get service user oops, user input service. We're gonna add local run service to the game get service run service, and then oops local um, camera game workspace current camera. We're gonna do local framework equals. We're gonna do a table here. Um, inventory equal to another table, and we just have primary pew pew semicolon secondary pew pew semicolon semicolon after this. Do module equals nil and view model equals nil. And that looks identical to what they've written. And we got function load slot item local. We're gonna make two locals here. View model folder equals game dot replicated storage dot and I name view models. And we're gonna grab module folder equal to game dot replicated storage dot what do they have here dot modules. And I'm assuming I'm gonna need to add a folder, rename it modules, because this is where I assume all the module scripts will go. So I just finished up with some of the code. We put little module script into replicated storage for the model, and then this is the code that's supposed to work. I think mine isn't working because I used different models and a different plugin to get my rig, and he has something called they have a fake camera with something called a camera part in it, which I don't think I have access to. Also, the tutorial is a little old, so the script language could have changed a little bit in the meantime. So this is, I'd say, failure number one. Probably a lot of failures to come, but um, for a first attempt, I think at least the rigging. Well, I actually don't know how the rigging went, but at least setting up, like the camera, the view, came out not too bad. And I'm at the point where I can kind of understand what's going on in the code. This I just copied it directly, but can I can at least understand, that we've got some variables up here. Got a table that we're labeling inventory, module and view model. In the inventory, we have a table with what did I just do? With our primary and secondary. It ends here. And then this function is supposed to load the uh, load the script for the primary or whatever item we choose. And this one is supposed to set the camera to a certain point, as well as clone this kind of setup into our character. And run service. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know what's going down here, but down here is just calling this function that we made. So loading the first slot of the inventory, which would be this. Now it doesn't work, and maybe it's something to do with this, because I have no clue what's going on down here. Could be something to do with my camera setup, very possible, but not a bad first attempt. Definitely learned some new things. Learned how to, create intersections and unions of parts. Learned how to set up a view model. Um, yeah. Even though it was a failure, I don't think it was that bad. And I think I will definitely have learned for the next time I try this. I will probably be trying a more up-to-date tutorial. But, I've got my models. So, see where to go from here.